ये आकाशवाणी है। अब आप प्रियंका अरोड़ा से समाचार सुनिए। सरकार ने 8 पूर्वोत्तर राज्यों का प्राकृतिक गैस पाइपलाइन ग्रिड बनाने के लिए इंद्रधनुष गैस ग्रिड लिमिटेड को 5,559 करोड़ रुपए का पूंजीगत अनुदान मंजूर किया है। आर्थिक मामलों से संबद्ध मंत्रिमंडल समिति की कल नई दिल्ली में हुई बैठक में ये मंजूरी दी गई। 1,656 किलोमीटर लंबी इस पाइपलाइन से असम में गुवाहाटी से ईटानगर, दीमापुर, कोहिमा, इम्फाल, आइजॉल, अगरतला, गैंगटॉक जैसे पूर्वोत्तर क्षेत्र के प्रमुख नगरों को जोड़ा जाएगा। पेट्रोलियम मंत्री धर्मेंद्र प्रधान ने बताया कि पूर्वोत्तर के लिए सरकार का हाइड्रोकार्बन विजन 2030 लागू करने में इस परियोजना की महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका है। केंद्र ने आपराधिक मामलों में अन्य देशों के साथ परस्पर कानूनी सहायता के संशोधित दिशा निर्देश जारी किए हैं। ये दिशा निर्देश अपराध को कतई बर्दाश्त न करने और न्याय प्रक्रिया को गतिशील बनाने की सरकार की नीति का हिस्सा हैं। भारत ने 42 देशों के साथ परस्पर कानूनी सहायता संधियां की हैं और आपराधिक मामलों में सहयोग के लिए विभिन्न अंतर्राष्ट्रीय समझौतों पर हस्ताक्षर किए हैं। इसके लिए गृह मंत्रालय को केंद्रीय प्राधिकरण नियुक्त किया गया है। देश के सबसे बड़े सार्वजनिक क्षेत्र के बैंक स्टेट बैंक ऑफ इंडिया ने मकान खरीदारों को गारंटी देने की योजना की घोषणा की है। इस योजना का उद्देश्य मकानों की बिक्री में तेजी लाना और मकान खरीदने वालों का विश्वास बनाए रखना है। कल घोषित इस योजना में स्टेट बैंक ऑफ इंडिया से आवासीय ऋण लेने वाले ग्राहकों को चुनिंदा आवासीय परियोजनाओं के पूरा होने की गारंटी दी जाएगी। जम्मू कश्मीर के पुलिस महानिदेशक दिलबाग सिंह ने अधिकारियों से ये कहकर सतर्क रहने को कहा है कि शांति के दुश्मन शांति भंग करने के मौके ढूंढ रहे हैं। उन्होंने कल कश्मीर में शोपियां और पुलवामा जिले के दौरे के समय सुरक्षा समीक्षा बैठक में ये बात कही। श्री सिंह ने कहा कि जम्मू कश्मीर में कड़ी मेहनत तथा पुलिस और सुरक्षा बलों के बलिदान के बाद शांति का वातावरण बना है। अमरीकी राष्ट्रपति डोनाल्ड ट्रंप ने कहा है कि इराक में अमरीकी वायुसैनिक अड्डों पर मिसाइलें दागने के बाद अब ईरान के रुख में नरमी दिखाई दे रही है। ये सभी पक्षों के लिए अच्छी बात है। कल व्हाइट हाउस से टेलीविजन पर अपने संबोधन में ट्रंप ने कहा कि इन हमलों में किसी भी अमरीकी या इराकी नागरिक की जान नहीं गई और ठिकानों को मामूली नुकसान हुआ है। ट्रंप ने कहा कि अमरीका उन सभी के साथ है जो शांति चाहते हैं। उन्होंने कहा कि अमरीका ईरान के उज्जवल भविष्य का इच्छुक है और अपने देश सहित पूरे विश्व में सभी देशों के बीच शांति, सौहार्द और समृद्धि चाहता है। लेकिन ट्रंप ने यह भी कहा कि अमरीका ईरान पर जल्द से जल्द और ज्यादा आर्थिक प्रतिबंध लगाएगा। ईरान ने कल सुबह इराक में इरबिल और अल असद में अमरीकी सैन्य ठिकानों पर मिसाइलें दागी थी। वहीं दूसरी ओर ईरान के सर्वोच्च नेता अली खामनेई ने इन मिसाइल हमलों को महज एक तमाचा बताते हुए कहा कि अमरीका को इस क्षेत्र से हटना ही होगा। इस बीच कल शाम बगदाद के भारी सुरक्षा वाले ग्रीन जोन में कम से कम 2 रॉकेट गिरे। अमरीकी दूतावास इसी क्षेत्र में है। हालांकि इसमें किसी तरह के जानमाल के नुकसान की खबर नहीं है। आज प्रवासी भारतीय दिवस है। ये दिन भारत के विकास में विदेशों में बसे भारतीय समुदाय के योगदान के लिए हर वर्ष मनाया जाता है। ये दिन महात्मा गांधी के दक्षिण अफ्रीका से 9 जनवरी 1915 को भारत लौटने की स्मृति में भी मनाया जाता है। 16वें प्रवासी भारतीय दिवस के अवसर पर आज विदेश मंत्री एस जयशंकर डिजिटल वीडियो कॉन्फ्रेंस के माध्यम से विश्व भर में बसे भारतीयों से संवाद करेंगे। विदेश मंत्रालय वर्ष 2003 से हर साल इस दिन समारोहों का आयोजन करता है। देश के उत्तरी भागों में कल की वर्षा और बर्फबारी के बाद शीतलहर बढ़ गई है। दिल्ली, हरियाणा और उत्तर प्रदेश समेत कई राज्यों में वर्षा हुई, जबकि हिमाचल प्रदेश और उत्तराखंड में अनेक क्षेत्रों में हिमपात और बारिश हुई। देश कल से गुवाहाटी में आयोजित किए जाने वाले खेलो इंडिया युवा खेल के तीसरे संस्करण के लिए तैयार है। ये आयोजन 22 जनवरी तक चलेगा। गुवाहाटी के इंदिरा गांधी स्टेडियम में होने वाले उद्घाटन समारोह में राज्य के मुख्यमंत्री सर्बानंद सोनोवाल इस अवसर पर मौजूद रहेंगे। इसके साथ ही ये समाचार बुलेटिन समाप्त हुआ।
Welcome to our program International News, where we bring you news from across the globe. I'm Abhishek Mukhopadhyay.
And I'm Renu Kataria.
The headlines: US ready to embrace peace, but Iran must abandon nuclear ambitions, says President Donald Trump. Iran's Islamic Revolution leader Ayatollah Sayyid Ali Khamenei says US must leave the region. US urges complete cooperation with probe into Ukrainian flights crashed in Iran. Iraq's Foreign Affairs Minister summons ambassador of Iran to object to the missile attack. And in badminton, PV Sindhu, Saina Nehwal, Aegis Pranoy and Samir Verma to play the second round matches in Malaysia Masters tournament. US President Donald Trump has said that Iran appears to be standing down after it fired missiles at air bases housing US forces in Iraq, adding that it is a good thing for all parties concerned. In a televised address from the White House yesterday, Trump said no US or Iraqi lives were lost in the attacks and the bases suffered only minimal damage. Trump said US is ready to embrace peace with all who seek it. He said US wants a great future for the people and leaders of Iran, one of prosperity at home and harmony with the nations of the world. But he said the US would immediately impose additional financial and economic sanctions on Iran, which would remain until it changed its behavior. He said Iran must abandon its nuclear ambitions and end its support for terrorism. Iran had fired missiles at Erbil and Al-Assad US bases in Iraq early morning yesterday. Trump had previously threatened military action against Iran if it were to target US personnel and bases, but he did not announce any military action. He also said that the fact that America has a great military and equipment does not mean it has to use it.
Iran's supreme leader of the Islamic Revolution, Ayatollah Sayyid Ali Khamenei, has called for an end to the presence of the United States in the region. He was addressing thousands of people from Qom province on the occasion of the anniversary of the 1978 uprising. Praising his forces for the strikes against US air base of Ain al-Assad in Anbar province in western Iraq in retaliation to the American forces killing Iranian commander Lieutenant General Qasem Soleimani, he said the US must leave the region. Iran has claimed that 80 US Army personnel have been killed and about 200 injured in missile attacks launched by Iranian Revolutionary Guards at American bases in Iraq. Quoting Revolutionary Guard sources, Fars news agency said that some 20 sensitive points of the military base were struck by 15 missiles early this morning. The Iraqi army said unmanned aerial vehicles, helicopters, and other military equipments have been severely damaged in the attack. White House spokeswoman Stephanie Grisham said that the White House is monitoring the situation closely and consulting with the national security team. The attack came after the US killing of top Iranian General Qasem Soleimani in Iraq last week. Iraq's Foreign Affairs Ministry yesterday summoned the ambassador of Iran to object to the missile attack that targeted two bases in Anbar and Erbil. In a statement, the ministry said Iraq rejected these attacks and considered them as a violation against the Iraqi sovereignty. The statement also included that Iraq is an independent country and that its internal security is a priority and a main concern. The statement added, Iraq will not allow being an arena for conflicts or a pathway to carry out attacks or a place to use its lands to harm neighboring countries.
This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates, visit our News on AIR app and follow us on Twitter at AIR News Alerts. You can also visit our website www.newsonair.com and our YouTube channel News on AIR Official. You are listening to a program International News, where we bring you news from across the globe. Stay tuned to our YouTube channel for more updates from across the world. The United States today urged complete cooperation with the probe into a Ukrainian flight's crash in Iran. According to media reports, Iran has rejected giving the Boeing plane's black boxes to Washington. Without naming Iran directly, Secretary of State Mike Pompeo said the US calls for complete cooperation with any investigation into the cause of the crash. The crash came as a tense relationship between Iran and the United States has sharply worsened, with Washington killing one of Iran's top generals. Hours before the crash, Iran had fired missiles at bases in Iraq housing US troops. After firing missiles at Iraqi bases housing US troops, Iran has said it respects Iran's territorial integrity. In a letter to the United Nations Security Council and UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres, Iran's ambassador to the UN, Majid Takht Ravanchi, said his country has full respect for the independence, sovereignty, unity and territorial integrity of Iraq. The diplomat said in a letter released by the Iranian mission that the operation was precise and targeted military objectives, thus leaving no collateral damage to civilians and civilian assets in the area. The ambassador said India recalls its dedication to the maintenance of international peace and security and stresses that it does not seek escalation of war.
The UAE Ministry of Foreign Affairs said it was closely following regional developments and reaffirmed the importance of de-escalating current tensions. Following the current scenario of heightened tension between Iran and the United States, the ministry in a statement stressed the importance of dialogue and political situations in the current situation. The UAE government responded to unconfirmed reports of Dubai also being threatened by Iran in the ongoing tension in which Iran hit the US air bases in Iraq. In a tweet last evening, the Dubai media office allayed the fears and confirmed that the rumors being circulated regarding security threats targeting Dubai are fake and haven't been issued from any official source in the Iranian government. UAE government also confirmed that recent developments will not affect citizens, residents or visitors to the UAE. The UAE ministry said that all sectors across the country continue to operate as normal. The Turkish and Russian presidents yesterday called for a ceasefire in Libya starting midnight January 12th. Turkish Foreign Minister Mevlut Cavusoglu and his Russian counterpart Sergei Lavrov announced the call to journalists in Istanbul. According to Turkey's official media, Presidents Recep Tayyip Erdogan and Vladimir Putin in a joint statement said they were committed to Libya's sovereignty, independence, territorial integrity and national unity. Meanwhile, Turkey is supporting the embattled UN-recognized government in Tripoli and has begun sending Turkish soldiers for training and coordination, while Russia has backed the rival eastern-based forces of General Khalifa Haftar. This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates, visit our News on AIR app and follow us on Twitter at AIR News Alerts. You can also visit our website www.newsonair.com and our new YouTube channel News on AIR Official. You are listening to our program International News, where we bring you news from across the globe. Stay tuned to our YouTube channel for more updates from across the world.
In light of the tensions within the Iranian airspace, Air India and its subsidiary Air India Express have temporarily rerouted its flights which use Iranian airspace. The airline spokesperson said this may lead to increase in flying time by approximately 20 minutes for flights from Delhi and 30 to 40 minutes for flights from Mumbai. AIR India said the situation is being closely monitored. It said the safety of passengers and crew members comes first. The Centre has issued revised guidelines for mutual legal assistance in criminal matters with other nations as part of the government's policy of zero tolerance for crime and its endeavour to fast-track the dispensation of justice. India has mutual legal assistance treaties MLAT with 42 countries and is a signatory to various international conventions for cooperation in criminal matters. Home Ministry is the designated central authority for the country. Under the MLAT, a country can request for obtaining evidence for criminal investigations and prosecutions. The evidence includes witness statements or the service of documents, among others. Home Ministry said by incorporating various legal and technological developments in the recent years, it aims to make the documentation more compliant with international requirements. More from a correspondent.
The revised guidelines provide step-by-step guidance to the investigation agencies for drafting and processing letters, rogatory or mutual legal assistance requests, and service of summons, notices, and other judicial documents. The guidelines have taken into account the concerns raised by various courts for prompt and timely responses in service of documents to persons residing abroad. These revised guidelines have provision for service of documents to authorities of foreign country, preferably within 10 days of receipt of request in respect of offences committed against women and children. With Anand, Bhupendra Singh, AIR News, Delhi.
This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates, visit our News on AIR app and follow us on Twitter at AIR News Alerts. You can also visit our website www.newsonair.com and our YouTube channel News on AIR Official. You are listening to a program International News where we bring you news from across the globe. Stay tuned to our YouTube channel for more updates from across the world.
The European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen warned yesterday that the UK won't get the highest quality access to the European Union's market after Brexit unless it makes major concessions. Mrs. Ursula said negotiating a new UK-EU trade deal will be tough. She also said the end of 2020 deadline that British Prime Minister Boris Johnson has imposed on negotiations makes it basically impossible to strike a comprehensive new agreement in time. Von der Leyen met Johnson at 10 Downing Street in London for the first time since the British leader's election victory last month. After the meeting, Johnson's office said the UK wanted a broad free trade agreement covering goods and services and cooperation in other areas. The office statement further said any future partnership must not involve any kind of alignment in which Britain would automatically follow EU rules. In Sri Lanka, Tamil National Alliance TNA noted that commitments given by Sri Lankan government to India and the international community on a political solution for the Tamils must be honoured. TNA leader R. Sampanthan, speaking in Parliament, said those commitments were not met but cannot be reneged upon. He said the military defeat of the LTTE was possible as a result of the assistance provided by India and the international community, as both India and Sri Lanka saw the LTTE as an impediment to reaching a negotiated, reasonable political solution in Sri Lanka. The Tamil leader said that the military defeat of the LTTE in 2009 was seen as a precursor to the reasonable political situation. Mr. Sampanthan said that failure to honour the commitments would mean the then Sri Lankan government used the international community to defeat the LTTE. Calling on the current government to ensure a political solution for the Tamils within a united and undivided Sri Lanka, the TNA leader said that if President Gotabaya Rajapaksa works towards that goal, he will have the support of the TNA. This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates, visit our News on AIR app and follow us on Twitter at AIR News Alerts. You can also visit our website www.newsonair.com and our YouTube channel News on AIR Official. You are listening to our program International News, where we bring you news from across the globe. Stay tuned to our YouTube channel for more updates from across the world.
Bangladesh and Myanmar have agreed to take action against terrorism, human trafficking and illegal drugs taking place on the borders between the two countries. Briefing media in Dhaka after the meeting between the BGB and the Myanmar Police Force MPF, the Director General of Border Guards of Bangladesh BGB, Major General Muhammad Shafinul Islam, said that both the countries agreed to share real-time information on terrorist and secessionist activities, illicit drug trade, human trafficking and illegal border crossing. The meeting also decided to have frequent interaction between the two countries to sustain cooperation in these fields. Bangladesh and Myanmar also agreed to cooperate with each other in fighting transnational crimes and to notify if shooting takes place in the border areas. In case of people unknowingly crossing the border into each other's territory, both the countries agreed to return the citizens as per existing rules and regulations. A Memorandum of Understanding MOU on electoral cooperation between the Election Commissions of India and Mauritius was renewed yesterday. The MOU was signed between Chief Election Commissioner of India Sunil Arora and Electoral Commissioner of Mauritius Mohammad Irfan Abdul Rahman at Port Louis. ECI spokesperson in a tweet said Mr. Arora also called on President of Mauritius Prithviraj Singh Rupan.
Today is India's Pravasi Bharatiya Divas. The day is celebrated every year to mark the contribution of overseas Indian community in the development of India. It also commemorates the return of Mahatma Gandhi from South Africa to India on 9th January 1915. Established in 2003, the celebratory event is organized by the Indian Ministry of External Affairs every year on this day. On the occasion of the 16th Pravasi Bharatiya Divas today, Indian External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar will interact with the Indian diaspora across the globe through a digital video conference. India-born author Jasbinder Bilan has backed a coveted UK Children's Book Award for her debut novel Asha and the Spirit Bird. The story, set in the Himalayan territory of her Indian roots and inspired by the special childhood bond with her grandmother. Bilan will receive £5,000 as the winner of the award. Her winning debut work follows 11-year-old Asha, who is empowered with spiritual connections to her grandmother as she journeys through the wild and dangerous Himalayas with her best friend Jeevan. Bilan's book was shortlisted from 144 entries alongside Crossfire by Mallory Blackman, In the Shadow of Heroes by Nicholas Bowling, and Furious Thing by Jenny Donham.
This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates, visit our News on AIR app and follow us on Twitter at AIR News Alerts. You can also visit our website www.newsonair.com and our YouTube channel News on AIR Official. You are listening to a program International News, where we bring you news from across the globe. Stay tuned to our YouTube channel for more updates from across the world. Embassy of India in Beijing, China has invited entries for a logo design to commemorate the 70th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations between India and China. Indian Embassy in China in a release today said the logo should reflect historic and cultural connection between both countries, in particular the people-to-people exchanges, and may highlight iconic symbols of both countries. It said that any individual or a group can submit the entries on or before 20th January 2020, and prizes will be awarded to selected entries. The competition is open to all citizens of India, and entries should be sent electronically to press.beijing@mea.gov.in. Name, age and contact details of the participant, along with a short description of the symbolism behind the logo design, should also be sent with the entry. In order to commemorate the 70th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations between India and China in 2020, Prime Minister Narendra Modi and President Xi Jinping had agreed during the second informal summit in October last year in Chennai to organize 70 celebratory activities in both the countries. These activities will showcase the historic connect between the two civilizations as well as the growing bilateral relationship over the years. This will help further deepening people-to-people exchanges between both the countries at all levels, including between their respective legislatures, businesses, academics, cultural and youth organizations, as well as the defense forces. Relations between the defense forces of both the countries have been steadily growing between the two countries, including the recently concluded hand-in-hand exercise in Shillong. Year 2020 will also see the two sides taking forward the spirit of Chennai Connect and Chennai Vision by engaging in cooperative projects in studying ancient maritime links between India and China through establishment of sister state relations between Tamil Nadu and Fujian province, and exploring the possibility of establishing an academy to study links between Tamil Nadu and Fujian province. The two countries will also conduct research on maritime links between India and China in view of extensive contacts over the centuries, and a conference on ship voyage that will trace the historic connect between the two civilizations. In Malaysia Masters Badminton Tournament, PV Sindhu, Saina Nehwal, Aegis Pranoy and Samir Verma will play the second round matches at Kuala Lumpur today. Pranoy will face world number 1 and top seeded Japanese Kento Momota, while Samir is up against local Lee Ji-jia. Reigning world champion Sindhu will take on Aya Ohori of Japan, and Olympics bronze medalist Saina will face An Si-young of Korea. B. Sai Praneeth and the seasoned Kidambi Srikanth bowed out of the tournament in the first round yesterday.
Now news on mental health and science. Children who grow up in areas with heavy air pollution have a higher risk of developing schizophrenia. A study suggests that particulate matter in the air may not only harm physical well-being but also mental health. The study was published in the Journal of the American Medical Association and assessed genetic data from iPsych. iPsych is a project to find bases and treatment of mental illnesses, including autism and depression. The researchers, including those from Aarhus University in Denmark, combined iPsych data with information on air pollution from the country's Department of Environmental Science. According to the study, children who are exposed to a high level of air pollution while growing up have an increased risk of developing schizophrenia, a chronic and severe mental disorder. Children who are exposed to an average daily level have an approximately 60% greater risk of developing schizophrenia compared to less than 10. The risk is also higher if you have a higher genetic liability for the disease. Study data shows that these associations are independent of each other. Equity benchmark Bombay Stock Exchange rallied over 500 points in opening session today as global markets rebounded after the US offered to embrace peace with the Iranian leadership in a bid to de-escalate tensions in the Middle East. After hitting a peak of 41,318, the 30-share Bombay Stock Exchange index was trading 450 points or 1.10% higher at 41,267. Similarly, the broader NSE Nifty surged 134 points or 1.11% to 12,159. The Indian rupee appreciated 22 paise to 71.47 against the US dollar in morning session.
And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. US ready to embrace peace, but Iran must abandon nuclear ambition, says President Donald Trump. Iran's Islamic Revolution leader Ayatollah Sayyid Ali Khamenei says US must leave the region. US urges complete cooperation with probe into Ukrainian flights crashed in Iran. Iraq's Foreign Affairs Minister summons ambassador of Iran to object to the missile attack. And in badminton, PV Sindhu, Saina Nehwal, Aegis Pranoy and Samir Verma to play the second round matches in the Malaysia Masters tournament.
You were listening to our program International News, where we bring you news from across the globe. Stay tuned to our YouTube channel for more updates from across the world. For quick news updates, visit our News on AIR app and follow us on Twitter at AIR News Alerts. You can also visit our website www.newsonair.com and our YouTube channel News on AIR Official. Have a nice day.